All right. So I'm trying something new today. I'm going to try and go live for a tutorial. That way I don't have to go back and edit it later. So we'll see how this goes. Today, I'm going to be working on a 14-inch round, and we're going to be making a green and gold. I just picked out a different gold than this, but anyway, we're going to be mixing all of these colors to make a color palette. But first, I'm going to show you guys how to do the guide marks. This is something I get asked how to do all the time, so I thought that during this tutorial, I could show you guys how I do it. I don't know where I put my other gold. Oh, it's right there. All right. So first, we're going to need a chalk pencil and a compass. These are the chalk pencils that I get. I super advise you guys getting lots of chalk pencils, especially if you're going to be making this quite often, and an electric sharpener. An electric sharpener is going to save you so much time in English. For some reason, chalk pencils are so delicate and they don't really hold up well to like just regular sharpeners. So that's something I would recommend for you guys. Okay. I also have this Nick Pro compass. It's just really heavy duty and it's going to last me a long time. I have other little ones, like I have these ones, but they don't really work as well. My advice is to get something steel, stainless steel, or iron, or cast iron, or anything like that. It's just going to help you with the longevity of them. All right, so we have 14 inches on a compass. It does not matter where. We're just going to plot out 7 inches. And this, I always go, let me see if I can show you guys. I always go like 1/8 of an inch over, just to make sure that I get a nice pretty center circle. So we just put around a line, we're going to swivel, put another line. Now that X might seem like it's in the center, but you really never know. So we're going to do this 4 or 5 times. And it's actually looking pretty good. So that little circle in the middle is going to be where we mark it out. So I'm going to put the compass in the center, best I can. And I'm just going to see if the pencil matches on all spaces around. A lot of the wood we get actually is not super even. So finding the best mark, just do like as close as you can. So that looks good. So I'm just gonna shove my compass in there, and then I just mark it with a little bit of white, and there we go. From here, I'm gonna be using a 16-inch stencil pencil, and I like 16 inches more than I like 12, because as the mandala gets bigger, it tends to look really spacey, but with 16 you can go in between the lines and it actually looks really cool. And especially we're going to be doing an octagon in our pattern today, so 16 is usually the best way to go for this. What are these exactly? So these are going to be mandalas, dot mandalas. Hi. Drawing the lines and the guide marks is for me, like the most tedious part of this. But it's really important to make sure that everything is even. Otherwise, your design can become a little bit wonky. Some people like those kind of wonky designs, but It just doesn't help me think much. All right. I have been doing, oops, so much purple lately, so many purple mandalas. I don't know why purple is the color to be right now, but I really wanted to kind of do something different, so green and gold today. When you draw your lines, I know that this seems very easy to do, but you do want to hit 3 points for sure. So you want to hit the first, or you want to go through the first line, through the second line, and through the center. If you hit all 3 parts, that's usually pretty good. You'll get a pretty even line. This is part 1. I don't know how many parts of this there's going to be. If I can work quickly, maybe only 2. But I have this habit of, like, at the end, going back and adding all of these, like, little details and embellishments and stuff like that. So it might be 3 parts. Stay tuned. All right. I should just get a longer compass. Cut my work into half. You live and learn. My cat is whining at me. What's up, girl? Okay. Let me sharpen my pencil. This one's getting a little too short. That's okay. I think now more and more of like the wood that people buy for mandalas is already coming with like chalked out lines and chalked out centers, which is wonderful. When I first started, it would take me maybe like an hour to get these all done. So now I've sped up my pace quite quickly and I'm quite happy about that. Okay, so now the choice is up to you guys. You can either, when you're doing your circular guide marks, just eyeball it. I'm going to be a little bit more specific here because we're going to do an octagon within our design. And so I think I'm going to do every 1/4 inch. I think that looks pretty good. Oh, and it fit perfectly. Love that. All right. All right, let me turn this. I do have like a smaller compass that I use for when I get closer to the center. Because some people can just eyeball it and put the center dot in super easily, but I'm not one of those people. I might have to get a new pencil. Let me switch pencils. That one's a little too short. Okay. You definitely don't have to worry about the chalk, what am I trying to say? My brain is getting away from me. Smudging, because at the end we just wipe this off. Chalk is not a problem. I always paint the base with like a black satin paint. Satin paint is so much easier to get the chalk lines off than like a matte paint. I think that goes for any paint, like paint in your walls. Okay. I think in this situation, 1/4 inch was good for the design. I think it's gonna look good. For me, sometimes I don't mark out the circular guide marks because sometimes having like bigger gaps, smaller gaps, like all throughout the mandala actually just helps me get a little bit more creative. But for this, I just feel like it's, I don't know, I feel like it's a good time. Especially if you want to do really exact patterns, plotting your lines out before and having like the exact like inch measured out before is going to help you look really nice and help convince people that you're a professional. So I need to sharpen it. Oh. Okay. I have to sharpen my pencil all the time. Thank God I invested in an electric sharpener because chalk breaks so freaking easy. Last one. All right. Just gonna add one more go here because I can't see that. Okay. Perfect. From here, we're gonna make an octagon. All right, so we're gonna do like a double lapping octagon. Oh wait, let me do the center first. A double lapping octagon after I do the centerpieces. For this, I usually like to take a smaller compass because I really need to see the lines in order to be good at this. My freehand skills are not the best. So for me, it just helps me get the center. All right, and that looks like a good amount of center. So we have 16, so to make an octagon, we're just gonna skip every other line. And I'm gonna look at what looks like the halfway point here. You could also measure it. So we have 7 inches, so 3.5 inches from the circle would be the 1/2 inch point. So right here, maybe. So we have a line there. I think I want to make it a little bit wider. Yes. And so what I'm just going to do is I'm just going to leave a little mark following the circle. Okay. And then I'm going to do the one right above it. So what's really helpful when you guys are going to be doing these like geometric patterns is to mark out the amount of space you're going to need between the dots. Between the lines. And this will make sense as I draw it out. You can do any sort of lines within this squared off patterns, anything like that, as long as it fits. Whoa, that's my cat. Go. Gypsy, don't do this to me. Come on, get out of here. Okay. And then I'm going to take my ruler and we're just going to skip one. So I'm going to start with the bottom. So I'm looking at the bottom. Oh, is my camera in focus? Kind of, sort of. Let me go like this. Okay. So we're going to look at the bottom. So from this one to this one. Does 3 fit into 16? No, not evenly. So compass right at that juncture and right at the other juncture. Then we're going to draw a nice line. And we're going to follow this pattern. It is going to look like it's warping because of the circular lines. I promise you it's not. And when we draw in our dots, it'll make sense. So I'm going to go here from edge to edge. I like to plot these out before I put paint on there because I can be slightly messy when it comes to wet paint. And I have no patience to dry it, so that's me. Okay. I'm looking to make an exact, point. This design looks so cool when you have a lot of little circles everywhere to add like a element of structure. It looks so cool. I know right now it's looking a little Halloween, but I promise it's gonna be damn cool. Okay. Point to point. Gorgeous. All right, now we're going to be doing in between those. So we're going to make like double octagons, I guess. So repeating the same thing, going in between those lines. Maybe this is called a shape. Its shape is called something that I don't know about, but you can kind of see the pattern that we're making. You can always go, if you go up or you go out while you're painting these, this space is going to be much bigger. I just kind of like it like this, but whatever floats your boat. I've actually never made them this small before. Where's my... But a good challenge, right? Except if I mess up, it's going to be shown to lots of people, so I'll have witnesses, but... That's part of the creative process. Sometimes you gotta risk it. Did I just go to the wrong line here? I did. Wait. Gosh, I just got all messed up. Oh, no, I didn't. We're good. I highly suggest you use black as a base when you're first using things, or like a dark color so that you can see the design. I made the mistake of doing it on like a a really like fleshy background, and it's difficult, I'll tell you that. Okay. So now I'm trying to remember how okay, so I did it like this. Maybe I should go down a mark. Okay. So if I go down a mark, let's see. Man, when I did it on the other one, I had this like panned out. So top to top. Oh no. Okay, I'm perfect. I don't need those longer ones. All right. So now this is going to help me keep the lines, the dots in a straight line. Keeping the size the same is actually really like crucial in this design. So we are gonna try our best. This can be a little confusing at first, but I promise as the paint goes on, it will make sense. Sharpen my pencil. Oops. Oh no, I broke my thing. That's great. All right. And then repeating the same on the empty ones. This is going to look a little crazy, but okay. All right, last one. Gorgeous. All right, to help me not make too many mistakes, I just like kind of vaguely clean in between the lines. So I usually like to do one, so I'm going to clean this one. It's going to be my straight one. So we're going to follow this one all the way through. And the other one will go on top. Oops, too much. All right, there we go. Now, now we can finally do our color palette. I'm gonna move this out the way for a second. So, our color palette. I'm gonna be using a combination of colors here. So we're basically gonna do a variation with jewel green, and I'm gonna use black, and I'm gonna use titanium white to make a color palette. And I'm also going to be using Venetian gold. Venetian gold's my favorite gold. A lot of people use, let me take that sticker off. A lot of people use glorious gold, also a really pretty color. But Venetian gold, I don't know if you guys can see the difference, is a bit on the yellower side. Oh, can't get this to work, yeah. And so I like this one a bit better. It's a little bit more coppery. I don't know, has a little bit more depth. I like it better. All right. So I'm gonna fill these up. And I just reuse my 1, 2, 3. Yeah, let's do, I guess I'll do 5. Yeah, so we'll do 5. I reuse my paint pots. You could buy them. Honestly, that gets so expensive. The best way to clean these, which I didn't do this time, is with laundry soap, actually. Laundry soap cleans out paint like you would not believe. All right. Let me get a mixing. There we go. So we're going to have a deep color, and we're going to slowly work it to a lighter color. So I have 5. So the middle color is going to just be that jewel green, I think. I'll add one more here. Gorgeous. I'm going to add 1 drop there. Play around with it. Use this on any color. Adding black to like pinks and stuff is so nice. Or if you want like a more vibrant green, if you want like a neon green. This is gonna end up on the tealer side of things, but I like that, so trust your gut. Okay, I'm gonna add just a drop more here. I like color palettes that are very easy to remember, because I forget what I did to make some colors. Now this comes down to personal preference. You could make them way more identical in shade, but I like mine to have a noticeable difference. So it's really up to you. Oh, I think I'm almost out of white. Oh no. So I'm just gonna do, oops, that already might be too much, but let's see. Yep, that's way too much white. Actually, maybe not. That actually looks pretty good. Okay. Come on, white, don't do this to me. I will buy more of you, I promise. Okay. I think that should be good. Okay, cool. Just popping the air bubbles out. I think that looks pretty dang good. And then the last little pot is for my Venetian gold. This just has a little, I don't know, I just really love this. You can mix them, do whatever you want. I also have, and I need to open this, the Scribbles Puffy Paint. This is my favorite gold. This is on the brighter side and more yellowy. So I think it'll actually work really, really well with that color. And this is just for puffy moments. I do have some like dark green puffy paint, but I don't know that it's going to exactly fit this color palette. So I think when it comes to like accent dots, I think I'm just going to use this one. Sorry, I'm trying to open this paint and it is not working. Okay. Okay, are you open? Okay, you are. Cool. Wonderful. All right. So we got our color palette. And now let's bust back our mandala. I also have a Lazy Susan that I put my things on. This just makes it easier to turn, and basically it's easier to paint on. Okay. I thought I had a Sharpie marker. I was gonna label these, but no dice. Okay. Oops, I'm trying to fix my camera. Okay, so for the center, how many do I have? I don't think 5 fits well, but I could do 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. I guess we're gonna do some center dots. Could do 4. Sometimes I like to make petals for the center, but I don't think so. So I'm gonna be taking the yellow tool. You can get these literally anywhere. I think Michael's, you can get these at Michael's too. And this is the set that I bought from Michael's. Okay, do we think that looks centered? Yeah, I think so. Okay, great. For the center dots, I'm just gonna go in a row. I'm gonna start with the darkest, and I'm gonna go light. I'm gonna start with, I don't want these to be super, super, super tiny, so I'm gonna start with the pink tool, if I can find it. There we go. So I'm gonna start with the bigger end of the pink tool. And basically I'm just gonna go in between all of these little squares. For some reason, greens tend to be a little watery. Sometimes that's great. Sometimes it's kind of a pain in the ass. Great. Using the same size, so the same end of the pink tool. I'm gonna go in between. Oh, might need to have to go up. Yeah, I'm gonna go up in size actually. Let's see. I think I'm gonna use the large end of the white tool. Okay, great. I'm going to go with the regular color and I'm going to use, I think, the large end of the green tool. Okay, cool. I left them a little bit gappy so that when I go back into it, I can add the lighter colors and some gold like in between, and they won't touch each other. So now I'm gonna start with the lightest color. And I think I'm gonna do... So I'm gonna do the small end of the green tool. Yeah. I have a design idea, but I don't know if it's gonna work. Okay, my hand definitely curves. I really try to make the centers of these as different as possible. Some people have the ability to do perfect center lines. I mean center dots. It's not me, so I gotta find a way around it. Okay, perfect. Let's get some gold in here. I'm going to use the small side of the pink tool. Okay. I'm going to take the fourth color here and a very small brush. So I use the XDT brushes. You cannot tell because of how worn they are, but this is the size 3/0. This is the one I use the most in the center with the smaller ones, and as I get towards the edge of the mandala, I will always go for a bigger brush, and I need to get new ones because these are super old and they're getting kind of crusty. Okay, so I'm going to be starting at the bottom and just following the silhouette all the way up. I think that one's a little too thin. My hands are a little shaky today because I worked out really hard yesterday and I was gripping this bar and some of my hands are a little weak. That's all right. Hands are weak, arms are strong. So far, this color palette is rubbing me the right way. I like this. Okay, gorgeous. I'm gonna do a line of dots again. I've noticed that when I connect these patterns, if there's not dots kind of separating them, it just looks like one massive blob. So then I'm going to use the big side of the pink tool. So for the first set of dots, we use the small side. And so this one, we're going to use the bigger one. I think this palette would also look really nice with white. I think that would make it a little bit brighter. Maybe I'll try it with white. Or like silver maybe? Teal and silver. I've never put that together. Oh no, wait, I think I have. Oh no, I haven't. Okay. Then I'm gonna go to the second darkest one here, and I'm gonna do another brush stroke. I think I'm gonna start from the top and go down. See if I can't fit this design in that space. So on either side. We want them to get very close to each other, but we do not want them to touch. Unless you do want them to touch. Some people like when it blends together. I like that little separation. I think you can tell the patterns a bit more. But again, do your thing. All right. Then let's do, yeah, I think I'm going to repeat that pattern. I'm going to put the middle color, so the true color is going to go in the middle. I'm going to use the small side of the green tool again. I think that's a good shape. I'm going to go right above that line. All right, looking good. I'm gonna do the lightest green as accents here. And I'm using the small side of the white tool. This is very much more on the teal side than I thought it would be, but I don't mind that. I'm into that. Okay, so there's a little too much paint on my tools, so I'm gonna wipe that off. Basically, anytime I start seeing the dots getting a little misshapen or having weird consistency, I just wipe it off, start over again. Okay, so now I'm gonna work my way down. Let's see, 1, 2, 3. So I'd have to end on a different color. So I did this one. Oh, I'll end on gold. Okay. So I'm going to the second lightest one. We're gonna add a brush stroke here. I think at the top I'm gonna do like a little dot or a little diamond. I'll get back to you guys. So just following the silhouette of the dots, we're gonna make like this petal, and my brush is full of water. Okay, dab off your brushes. Okay, lovely. I'm gonna put a little star shape. Oh, shoot. Right above. And then I have, this is from Devon Dotting. Devon Dotting? Yeah. You can use the small end of the pink tool for this as well. You just want to get really, really thin lines. I'm making this kind of, what would you even call this? A glimmer shape? Okay. This a little bigger. Okay. Okay, gorgeous. Then we're gonna go to the middle color. So this is just our regular jewel green color. Taking the same brush that we've been using. So this 3/0 brush. We're gonna, oh, you know what? Let me chart this out first. Sometimes do I want to go here? Yes, I do. Okay. We're gonna go to the guide mark right above it. We're just gonna give it that nice silhouette. Holy Jesus, I need new brushes. These are starting to get a little funky. You can see we have a cute little flower petal with glitter in it. Everyone's dream. Okay. On camera, all the colors look the same. So it looks like I can fit maybe 3 in there. So we're gonna do the last 2 and then gold on the outside. So the 2 darkest one at the ends and then gold on the outside. And instead of going to the second guide mark here, I'm gonna go kind of in between it. And then just following the silhouette. If you see bubbles, just give them a little pop. Okay. We're gonna do the darkest color. Make sure your brush is dry. And we're gonna go right underneath that guard mark. And so these are not gonna be touching, or they might get close, but we don't want them to touch. We are gonna put gold in between them, and I'll show you what we're gonna do. All right, lovely. One more. I already did that one. Okay, great. All right, the same brush. We're gonna take this gold color. Oh, my baby. Okay. And we're gonna make this a pretty thin place. So let me go here. We're gonna go up, and we're just gonna kind of surround. We're gonna surround the petal that we already made. And we're gonna go down. This also adds a break in the design, so you can kind of see it a bit better. Okay, cute. I feel like on camera this looks really blue, like bluish green. I'm just gonna add some little details here and there, and then I think I'll stop for the day. So I'm just gonna do, yeah, I think I'll do some puffy paint. Super simple, keep it simple. Sometimes when you have really elaborate patterns, you need to keep the base simple. This gold is, oh, it's my favorite gold. It's so perfect. All right. I think what I'm going to do at the very end is I'm going to mix like a metallic-y green color, kind of metallic-y teal, so that we can add some highlights to the center. I'm just going to take some gold and I think, no, we're going to have to use the small end of the pink tool, I think. And then we're going to have to do, so I want to do 2 dots in between. Oh, I skipped one. Whoops. All right. Then I'm gonna add in between the second row of dots, I'm gonna add the lightest tool, the lightest color that we have. Oh, this might be too big. So that means I'm gonna use my micro tool to see if I can't. Oh, that might be too big too. Okay, hold on. The tiny bit of paint. There we go. Okay. Let's see now. I'm gonna add a little bit of gold at the bottom here. We're just gonna do very small swooshes. Oops. All right. Beautiful. So I think this is where I'm going to stop for today. Next time I'm going to be using Next week I'm going to be using some oval tools, and I got this from Devon Dotting Company. These are on the bigger side of things. So, and anyway, so we're going to use those. I can also teach you how to do oval shapes with just regular tools. And then we're going to start doing our octagon. And I'm going to show you guys how pretty that's going to look. And it's going to be so nice. So I will keep this here until next week. Whoever joined me today, thank you so much for hanging out. I know it was a little boring because I'm not that entertaining, but I appreciate you nonetheless. So I will see you guys next Thursday. All right, bye.